if I could summarize this book in its three main ideas, it's that the author wants to share that you should aim to have zero left in your bank account, otherwise you've saved too much, to invest in experiences when you're young, or get compounding returns on your memories, and thirdly that money is a resource to live a good life, not an end in itself. It's a practical guide for getting the most out of your money and your short time on earth, and it helped me realize that money is only as valuable as the life experiences you buy with it. If you spend your life obsessing over your bank balance, then you've missed the point. Die with Zero by Bill Perkins is a book that discusses that we all need to make money in order to survive, and a key argument in the book is that the money we earn represents life energy. After you've paid for your essentials and basic needs like food, water and shelter, then we need to use that time and money that's been left over from survival to buy meaningful and fulfilling experiences. In an ideal world, we directly trade our life energy in the form of work for those fulfilling experiences. But we have something called money that's in the middle, and we need to trade in our life energy in order to make money so that we can survive and afford those experiences. Bill argues that most people focus too much on saving money, and even as we get older, they carry on trading their valuable time all for cash that they'll never actually spend. Let's say you die at the age of 70 with $20,000 left in the bank. That $20,000 represents two things. First, it shows the extra several months you may have worked for that $20,000 and all the experiences you didn't spend that money on. In the book, Bill would say that all the life energy you traded has basically been wasted, and that you sacrificed so much of your precious time to get it, and now it's just gathering dust. And in the book, he says the way to fix this is to spend more money when you're young. So that raises the question as to why you should save less. And there's a few reasons for this, especially as we're young. Now, the first one is increasing in earning power as we get older, memories from the experiences that we may have had when we were younger, and old age or poor health. And we can go in turn and kind of understand each of these reasons. So the first reason for investing in experiences early is that normally our earning power for the most part increases as we get older. So what seems like a big chunk of money when we're 25 years old may seem less significant or trivial when we're say 40 years old with a house and an established career, and likely a lot more money coming in. Now as you get older, $20 buys you less and less happiness because you take the small things for granted, activities or going out for food and so on, and you start focusing on big money things like buying a car or fixing up your house. So doing something that's relatively cheap when you're 20 years old in order just to save money is likely not to be worth it in the grand scheme of things. So his argument is don't save $10 or $20 here and there when you're young, and that you'll get a lot more enjoyment from spending that money right now when you're younger than say in 30 years time. The second reason is memory dividends. A good quote from the book is that unlike material possessions which seem exciting at the beginning but then often depreciate quickly, experiences actually gain in value over time. They pay what I call a memory dividend, and the idea behind this is that every year good experiences we have had in the past give us a return on investment. That's because all of these experiences create memories. So let's say you go on an amazing 2-week hike through Spain with your friends when you're 20 years old. You'll probably have the next 50 years or so to enjoy those memories and to talk about the trip whenever you hang out. And you can compare that with working for all of your 20s and 30s to save up that same amount of money and then going on that trip when you're 40 years old. Yes, there's an argument you'll be financially more stable and secure, but you'd have missed out on almost 20 years of those good memories that you could have had if you had done it when you were younger. So the lesson we can look to take from that is that the longer you wait, the less time you give your experiences to earn compounding interest or just returns or just having those nice happy memories from when you were younger. And the third one is old age, and even as we get older, our spending power usually will increase, and then we can afford to do more expensive things. But our actual ability and health steadily decreases, so we can't travel as far or do the physical activities like skiing, things like long distance traveling or rock climbing. So it just means it makes more sense to spend a decent chunk of money on those cool experiences while we're still fairly young and can actually enjoy them. Now all of this may go against what we're taught about saving money and investing. So let's take a look at some of the objections to the idea of saving less money. And the first one that springs to mind is, what if I actually run out of money before I die? Now ideally everyone wants to live long lives, and similarly no one wants to die after their retirement money runs out either. In the book, Bill says there's lots of studies that show most people actually save way too much money and spend much less during their retirement than they actually thought. And his main point here is that we fear running out of money a lot more than it actually is likely to happen. People who save for the future tend to save up too much and then wait too late in their lives to spend it on those fulfilling experiences, if at all. Once you're in the habit of working for money to live, the thrill of making money exceeds the thrill of actually living. And that's another quote from the book. A big caveat to all of this is that it assumes that you're a reasonably high earner with disposable income and a lot of savings. If you're not, then don't take this book too seriously. The next objection to the book is, what about leaving money for your family and kids? The problem is, if you only give your money away when you die, your kids might be in their 40s and 50s when they eventually get their inheritance, and by that age they could already have good earning power, so the inheritance may not be as helpful to them when they're at that stage of life. Giving away the money when they're in their 20s, for example, that could be much more helpful because it could be used to put down a deposit on a house or help with buying a first car, for example. So the idea is, don't wait until you die to give the money away to your kids, and if you're going to do it when you're alive and when they're younger, when the money will be most effective. So overall, we should be a little less concerned with saving up loads of money and instead try to gain more experiences, especially in our younger years, because when you're young you may not have very much money, but you will have a lot of time. When you're in your middle ages, you have a decent balance of health and wealth and free time, and when you're old you usually have time and money, but you're not as healthy as you used to be. Not all experiences can wait, so if there is something that you really want to see or something that you really want to do, you should do it while it's still around. Another key takeaway is that you should take your biggest risks when you're young, when you don't have as much to lose. You have more time to build yourself back up again if you fail, but a whole lifetime to enjoy the profits if the risks actually do pay off. And Bill points out that the downside of not taking a chance is most times emotional, because there's potentially a lifetime of wondering of what if I did this or what if I did that. Another quote is that there's a great sense of pride at having pursued an important goal wholeheartedly. If you've given something your all, you'll get a lot of positive memories out of the experience no matter what happens. But when you're older, big financial risks aren't usually worth taking, as they can leave you without enough money to retire, and you're also likely to have a lot more responsibilities when you're older. All in all, Die with Zero is a good read, but you don't want to take it too literally though. Key message is, don't save so much that you forget to enjoy your life. If you like this video, you may want to check out my other video over here.